Today's video is going to be about what's your motivation. You have to ask yourself, why am I in business? And the reason why I'm making this video today is because obviously all of you know the economy that we're in and the economy that we've been in, and how inflation and all these things, interest rates are increasing, all these things are working against everybody. If you are someone that sells a product or a service, it's probably taking longer for you to convert on your sales. There's a lot of things that are happening. And we're coming out of a time where back in 2020, 2021, even 2022, we had record sales for so many businesses. So many people were selling with ease. Everything was easier. Not saying it was easy, but it was easier. And now things are a lot tougher. But does that mean that there's still not business out there for us? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that we have to work a little bit harder. So I ask you that are watching, what is your motivation for why you're in business? And the reason why I ask is because it's easy to get up and perform whenever everything is going good. But how about whenever everything is going bad? How about whenever it takes people forever to sign the proposal that you sent to them? You've had a really good call with them and they're like, I'm excited. And then you talk to them the next day and they're like, you know what? I'm having second thoughts on working with you. And it's not you, it's the price might be too high for my budget. Even though you know that you can help them tremendously and that them working with you is more so an investment than an expense, you have to deal with that. And so the sales cycle for you might have gone from, let's say, a week to probably a couple months to even a year. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with clients dropping their services? How do you deal with people not buying your product at the rate that they were? Because obviously when people were buying your product at the rate that they were, you were accustomed to the money coming in, you were accustomed to a certain lifestyle. And now that the revenue has dropped, you probably had to cut back in certain areas. You probably had to stop doing certain things that you enjoy doing. And now it may not be as fun. Now you might start to say, you know what, I might need to put in a resume to see who's hiring, which there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I just want you to know. But what's your motivation? And we always, whenever we talk to clients, we like to know, what are your goals? What's your mission? What's your vision for your business? Why are you in business? These things are extremely important because it lets us know that even during the tough times, you are someone that is going to continue to want to grow your business. You're someone that's going to want to continue to move forward, to push forward, to make things happen, even when there seems to be no way. And I think at the crux of all that is, why am I in business? For me, my mission simply is to help entrepreneurs to manage their money so that they can scale their businesses with confidence. So what does that mean? To me, it means that if I and my team do our job, entrepreneurs will make more money and more profit in their business, and now they will be able to take care of their families. They'll be able to take care of their families. They'll be able to create generational wealth, right? Specifically in a lot of communities that may not even understand what that is. This is a big, big mission, because if we do what we're supposed to do the right way, so many people are impacted. So that keeps me going. That keeps me driving at night, right? That keeps me up. That keeps me motivated. Even when things are bleak, I'm still going. I'm still thinking about all the things that positively could happen. I'm still thinking about all the changes that I potentially could make to tweak what we do to get even better. Even when clients are saying, oh, you're amazing, I'm always thinking, what else can we do to get even better? Are you applying that same energy to your business? Do you care that much about your business, or is it just a way to make money? If you're operating your business in a space where, you know what, I wanted to get away from my job and I wanted to have something to replace my income, is that enough of a motivation for you to continue growing your business? Is it a situation, is the fear of going back to work enough for you to say, I'm going to continue to grow my business? And there's a lot of people that I've met with, that I've talked to, that I've even worked with, that there's a fear of going back to work, but not necessarily because of what you may think about how, oh, you know what, I got to work for someone, but just the fear of failure. the fear of having to face the public and the public looking at you as someone that had their stuff together and all of a sudden it didn't work out. And I want you to know there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with going back to work, because it doesn't have to be a permanent decision. You don't have to go back to work forever. You can have a plan. You can have a plan of saying, you know what, I'm going to go back to work for a specific period of time. I'm going to stack my money the same way that we teach our clients how to stack their money in their business, so that whenever the hard times happen, they have a cushion, they have working capital that they can still pull from. You're stacking your money at your job and you're building out your plan. You're thinking about all the things that went right in the business the first time, but then all the things that went wrong that you can pivot and you can change, so that when you come back, you're a much stronger, much sharper entrepreneur. You are somebody that says, you know what, I learned from the first time. I didn't look at this as a failure. My business failed, quote unquote, right? And I don't look at it as a failure. I look at it as a learning lesson. And how can I get better? How can I be an even better entrepreneur the second time around? Right? So I want you guys to know that there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to understand, when you start a business, what is your motivation? Because your motivation, like I said earlier, might be to replace the income at your job. But once you reach that, let's say your income is $100,000 at your job, and you are blessed enough to grow your business to making $100,000. What's your new motivation? Because you reached that. So now in theory, you can take care of yourself. You're independent. You can do the things that you've always wanted to do, right? In theory, because you work for yourself, you have the freedom, supposedly. That's another story. But now you've reached that pinnacle. What's next? Is the next thing on your mind to say, you know what, I want to continue growing the business? You might have a fear in growing the business, because you might say to yourself, I don't necessarily know what to do. I'm not equipped as a person. I don't want that drama. I don't want all that responsibility. If I go out and I hire all these people, now I'm responsible for them. I'm responsible for making sure that I pay them every couple of weeks, and I can't even be responsible for myself. I don't even manage my money properly enough to say I'm going to be responsible for others. There's so many other fears that people have, that they say, you know what, I want to stay right here. I want to be comfortable and stop right here. And there's a saying that if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not growing your business, if your business is not continuing to grow and get to that next level, then at some point it's going to die out. Because you might hit that 100,000, and then all of a sudden, let's say a couple clients leave. Now you're all of a sudden go from 100 to 60,000 just like that, with the snap of a finger. Business is not something that you potentially can get comfortable with, unless, let's say, you are a contractor and you're a 1099 for somebody and they're paying you a specific amount of money. But even then, you can't even get comfortable with that, because that person can cut that expense. They can say, you know what, we appreciate your time, but we are going to go a separate direction. You could be an entrepreneur that has a government contract, but as we see with the new presidency, you can't even get comfortable with that, because the new presidency has said, you know what, there's a lot of changes that we're making in the government, and a lot of government contracts are being impacted by that. So there's no way that you could get comfortable in business. Like, there's no surefire solution. There's nothing. I can't think of any. If you guys know, let me know in the comments, right? But there's no kind of entrepreneurship in my head that you could say, you know what, I've reached this level of money, I can get comfortable, because nothing is guaranteed. So if we know that nothing is guaranteed, that means that I have to operate like nothing is guaranteed. I need to make sure that everything is covered from a financial perspective. I need to have working capital, emergency funds put to the side. I need to make sure that I operate my business in a way that my margins are really good. My product or service that I'm offering is excellent, so that whenever you have an excellent product or service that you're selling, that's the foundation. That's one of the foundational things, right? Because now you can sell the thing over and over and over, and people are going to buy, but they're not only going to buy, they're going to tell other people. So if we're not in a place to where we're saying to ourselves, you know what, I need to continue growing, And you know what? I may not know how to grow, but I'm going to go seek out that information. I'm going to go watch videos like this. I'm going to go read the books. I'm going to go hire the coaches. I'm going to go surround myself with good accountants, good lawyers, good HR people. It's only a matter of time before you might see yourself out of business. So I wanted to make this video because it's extremely important. I'm encountering so many people that are saying, you know what, I just want to go to Mexico. I just want to move out and relax. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think you can get comfortable. But what I do think you can do is you can grow a business that can operate without you. You can buy back more of your time and have a thriving business. You can hire the right people and put them in place to manage the business for you. Now, that does not mean that just because I have the right people in place that I can go on 6-month vacations. You still have to step in and lead them. You still have to make sure that you're measuring your KPIs and making sure that your business is performing at a certain level. But I'd rather take that kind of business than the business where I'm in the flow of the business. I'm doing all the work. I'm literally overwhelmed. I'm stressed out every single day. I don't want that kind of business. Because if I had that kind of business, I might as well find a job. Because at least with a job, I potentially have the opportunity, hopefully, depending upon what role I have, to be able to turn off. With business, it's hard to turn off. It is hard to turn off, y'all. So I just wanted to talk about that today. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them in the comment section. Let me know. Do you guys resonate with this video? Is this something that you've gone through? Is this something that you want me to do more videos on? Let me know, and I definitely will. All right, talk to you guys soon.